जी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम नहमदुहु व सल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम। जी भाई, क्या हाल है सबके? इधर हॉस्टल्स में आ गए हैं सारे या अभी अपने घरों में ही हैं?
यस सर, आ गए हैं।
टाइम टेबल अभी तक डिस्प्ले मेरा नहीं ख्याल हुआ।
नहीं सर।
Okay, so probably inshallah this would be our last online class. Hopefully we will have physical classes in the coming weeks. So who will okay, so coming towards the lecture, what we studied in the last week, who will summarize? जी बच्चे, कोई बच्चा जो बता दे कि लास्ट वीक हमने क्या पढ़ा था और इसको समराइज कर दे थोड़ा सा।
तो हमने प्रिंसिपल्स अबाउट प्रेशर पढ़े थे, जिसमें फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल हम लोगों ने प्रेशर एक्ट यूनिफॉर्मली पढ़ा था कि हर डायरेक्शन में प्रेशर इक्वल होता है, और सेकंड में हम लोगों ने ये पढ़ा था कि अगर एक लिक्विड बाउंड्रीज में कन्फाइंड हो तो उसका प्रेशर परपेंडिकुलर लगता है बाउंड्री की हर साइड पे। और हम लोगों ने आगे की दो डेरिवेशंस की थी, प्रेशर एट पॉइंट एंड सेम इन ऑल डायरेक्शन और वेरिएशन ऑफ प्रेशर इन स्टैटिक फ्लूइड, इन दो की थी। इसके बाद हम लोगों ने एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पढ़ा था, गॉज प्रेशर पढ़ा था, एब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर पढ़ा था, और मेजरमेंट ऑफ प्रेशर की हम लोगों ने कुछ आगे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स पढ़े थे, जिनमें फर्स्ट बैरोमीटर था और सेकंड बॉर्डियन गेज, थर्ड पेडोमीटर और थर्ड मैनोमीटर।
Okay, very good, very good. So any question from the previous lectures? Any confusion or any question? Okay, so I will move forward. So towards the manometer, I think I have given you the basic description and function of this manometer, how it works and how can we find the pressure using this manometer. So anything to ask from this manometer? No question?
नो
Okay,
सर, क्लियर है, आगे चलें।
what does this figure actually show? I mean, what is the difference between this thing, this circular thing, and why there's a U-shaped pipe provided here? जी बच्चे, what is this? Why no one is responding? So sure. Ji Ammar Ahmed, Mr. Ammar Ahmed.
यस सर।
Ammar, what is this? I mean, this picture actually represents. What do you understand by this positive pressure?
सर इसमें बेसिकली जो राइट साइड है उसके ऊपर एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर लगता है और इधर यानी दो लिक्विड यूज हो रहे हैं।
Okay, so can we measure a negative pressure from this manometer as well?
नहीं सर, उसका इफेक्ट कैंसिल हो जाता है।
How? I mean,
क्योंकि सर ये जो बेस लाइन है जेड, तो पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव कैंसिल हो जाता है इससे।
I'm asking about the negative pressure within the pipe, not the manometer. If you have a negative pressure here, then this mercury, instead of moving down, it will move upward. Okay, so negative pressure I mean, the flow moves from high pressure to low pressure. So if it has low pressure here, then the level of mercury in and the left limb would be slightly higher, as you can see from this simple manometer. To measure the negative pressure, the mercury shifts to this level, and now the datum is decided from the right limb. So
Okay, sir.
manometers can actually measure the negative pressure as well. Okay, so do you have any confusion in forming these equations? Just like pressure in the left limb above datum is H plus S1 H1. Similarly, pressure in the right limb is S2 H2. So do you have any question regarding this? Okay. So can you solve this example? Who can solve this example? Very simple example. I think we have solved it.
No, sir.
Last week example की नहीं थी?
सर आप सैंपल लगा था, उसको देख लेना.
ओके, सो यहाँ तक कोई कंफ्यूजन किसी को भाई?
No, sir.
So in this case,
No, sir.
just थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कर देता हूँ, जाके जो बच्चे नहीं भी बोल रहे हैं उनको भी रिविजन हो जाए. So in order to find the negative pressure, actually we separately make equation for left limb and right limb. Just like this is our center point, this is center line. So what are the things which are present on the left side? One is the pressure within the pipe. If it is expressed in terms of head of the water, then H for the pipe plus there are two liquids in this left limb. One is having a specific gravity of S1 and the height H1 plus S2 and H2. Okay, and if you see pressure on the right limb above datum, there is no liquid, so it would be 0. So you just compare both these equations and find out the value of H here. Okay, so now the first example says that a simple manometer containing mercury is used to measure the pressure of water flowing in a pipeline. So say it has water in it, and the mercury level in the open tube is 60 millimeter higher than that of the left tube. Okay, so 60 millimeter is higher than that of the left tube. So if left tube is here, 60 is the H2 basically. Okay, and if the height of water in the left tube is 50 millimeter, so this is height of water. Determine the pressure in a pipe. So equation क्या होगी इसकी, कौन बताएगा?
सर पहले हम लेफ्ट लिम्ब में प्रेशर फाइंड कर लेंगे और राइट लिम्ब में प्रेशर फाइंड करके दोनों को बराबर
इक्वेशन बताओ, इक्वेशन बताओ दोनों की.
सर लेफ्ट लिम्ब की इक्वेशन होगी एच प्रेशर विल बी इक्वल्स टू एच प्लस S1 H1 और राइट लिम्ब की होगी प्रेशर विल बी इक्वल्स टू S2 H2.
Okay, is it clear? So actually this is the just want to confirm that these pressures are pressure expressed in terms of head of water. Okay, so just remember these are the pressure which are expressed in terms of head of water. So now by just putting the value of S1 which is of water and H1 S2 which is 13.6, so if here S1 is 1 and S2 is 13.6. okay, and all the respective heights are provided in the figure. So just put all the values here and find the value of H. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, आगे चले.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now another example
Yes,
to
sir.
find negative pressure. A simple manometer containing mercury was used to find the negative pressure in a pipe containing water. The right limb of the manometer was open to atmosphere. Find the negative pressure below the atmospheric pressure. So first of all, you will make an equation for left and right limb. So it's very easy. So for left limb, the equation would be H plus S1 H1 plus S2 H2 is equal to 0. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
what is the value of H1 in this figure?
Sir, 20,
Very good. And what is for H2?
50.
Very good. So you just put all the values here, and it is asked find the negative pressure. Okay. If you compare both the examples here, just look at the last line. What's written here? Determine the pressure in a pipe in terms of head of water. Means we need to find H, which is actually pressure expressed in terms of height of water. Okay, but in this example, he asked find the negative pressure, and pressure is basically P. It is not H here. Okay, so what is the relationship between P and H?
Directly proportional. P is equal to gamma H.
P is equal to gamma H. Okay, so when we have the pressure, once we have found the pressure in terms of head of water H, we just simply multiply with the gamma of water in order to find this pressure. Okay, so be careful while, I mean, if in exam, during exam when you ask about this manometer type problem, then just check out whether it is asked to find the pressure, or you are asked to find the pressure in terms of water columns. Okay, so once we have found the head, so you just multiply with the gamma, which is 9.81, to get the negative pressure or gauge pressure. Okay, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, another example. Figure shows a conical vessel having its outlet at A. This is point A, to which U-tube manometer is connected. The reading of the manometer given in the figure shows when the vessel is empty. Okay, so this manometer reading is actually for the condition when there is no fluid in it. Okay, say there is no water in it, it is empty. So the datum actually shows the left limb reading of 200 millimeter. So here, say for the first case, H2 is 200. यहाँ तक कोई confusion? And H, basically H is here as H1. Any confusion up till now? अभी हमने यहाँ तक समझ लिया. Okay. Next is find the reading of the manometer when the vessel is completely filled with water. Okay. After you just fill this vessel with water, what will happen? कौन बताएगा? ये अब यहाँ से पानी आग इसमें हमने इंसर्ट कर दिया.
सर लेफ्ट राइट लिम्ब से मर्करी का लेवल डाउन हो जाएगा और लेफ्ट लिम्ब पे इंक्रीज हो जाएगा.
Very good. Say मर्क्यूरी का लेवल यहाँ से डाउन हो गया, डेटम इधर आ गया, और यहाँ से मर्क्यूरी का लेवल ऊपर चला गया। ठीक हो गया जी। तो अब न्यू डेटम कौन सा बन जाएगा? ये वाला। एग्री कर रहे हैं? So at the moment we do not know what is the level of mercury which will be suppressed, say X. Okay, और यहां से X ऊपर गया और इधर भी X की वैल्यू ऐड हो जाएगी। Why I have written here X?
सर डेटम भी तो रिड्यूस हो गया, इस वजह से यहाँ पे भी एक्स ही आएगा।
वेरी गुड। सो डेटम जब रिड्यूस होगा तो मींस देयर वुड बी a change of 2x in the left limb. Yes, no?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me equation for right limb? जी देखिए, हेड जो है वो सिर्फ हाइट से हमने कंसिडर करना है। ओके, सो if I write after the vessel is filled with water, the equation for the right limb becomes 3 plus h plus x. Is it okay? Is it correct or not?
यस सर।
Okay. And what would be the equation for the left limb?
सर 2x plus 200।
Very good. 2x plus 200. ठीक हो गया जी। ये बेसिकली लेफ्ट लिम्ब और राइट लिम्ब की इक्वेशन है, बट एट द मोमेंट देयर आर टू अननोन्स हियर in this equation, which one is the x and one is the h. Okay, so in order to find the h, we would just find it out from the first scenario in which the vessel is empty. In that case, what would be the equation for this figure? When the vessel is empty, what would be the equation? जी खुद सोचें। अब इसमें क्या होगा कि z जो है, ये वाला z, ये डेटम है आपका, क्योंकि अभी पानी फिल नहीं हुआ। Who will tell? नहीं समझ आ रहा।
S1 is equal to S2H2.
वेरी गुड। अब S1H इस केस में क्या हो जाएगा? S1H
Water.
is equal to 200 S2, यही होगा। So when there was no liquid in a vessel, S1H is equal to H. So H की यहां से हम इक्वेशन फाइंड कर सकते हैं।
जी बिल्कुल।
ठीक है जी। So once you have this H, so now you will make equation. Therefore, the total height of water in the right limb would be, it is again x plus h plus 3, जो मैंने यहाँ लिखा है, x plus h plus 3. h अगर 2 point something है, 2.72, so then the equation for right limb becomes x plus 5.72. Similarly, the for left case it is 0.2, which is 200 after converting it to meters, plus 2x. Okay, and you can equate, and finally you have the manometer reading, which is 0.2 plus 2x, this one. जी, any question?
No, sir.
सबको समझ आ गया? आगे चलें?
जी सर.
So next manometer is of differential manometer. As from this word, you can see that this manometer is used to find the difference of pressure between, say, the two pipes. So if you connect this manometer between two pipes, then it will give us a difference of pressure between these two pipes. Okay. So the concept is same, but in this case, if you divide this figure into two parts, then the pressure would be for left limb, it would be HA plus, अब इसमें देखें क्या हो रहा है, H plus H is the total height. So HA plus H times S1. So this is the equation for left limb, whereas for right limb, it would be HB plus HS1 plus HS2. ठीक है जी, any question? Very simple. Again, you just have to focus on the height and its respective specific gravity. Okay. Okay. Another example, a U-tube differential manometer connects two pressure pipes A and B. The pipe A contains carbon tetrachloride having a specific gravity of 1.6. So this is for pipe A. Okay. Under a pressure of 120 kilopascal. Okay. The important thing in this example is that this is the pressure. The value of pressure P is provided here. It's not the H. Similarly, the pressure in a pipe B is 200 kilopascal, which is PB. So this one is PA and PB. The pipe A lies 2.5 meter above pipe B. So here's a distance between these two pipes, elevation difference. Find the difference of pressure measured by the mercury as a fluid filling U-tube. So first of all, as the pressure is given, so we can convert this pressure in terms of height of water by just dividing with the specific weight of water. If we divide this PA by gamma of water, which is 9.81, we actually get the height of water column, which is 12.2 meters of water. Similarly, we can also find pressure head in pipe B, which is 20.4. So now these are the value of these are basically HA and this one is HB. So you can easily make an equation just like for left, we can say that okay. So here please correct it, the datum mercury level is up till here. Okay. So left hand equation would be HA plus 2.5 times S1 plus H into S2. Similarly, for right side it would be HB plus S2 into H. So as the value of pressures are given, the only thing which is unknown is this H. So separately we can write the equations for left limb and for the right limb, and when we equate both the equation we can simply find H. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
So this is inverted differential manometer. The concept is same, just need to make equations. So I will upload assignment, your first assignment on Microsoft Teams. I need to do some modification in it and then I will upload it. Okay. So still if you have any questions then you can ask, otherwise I will move to the next lecture. Actually this was the part of previous lecture but we couldn't finish it in due course of time. So G, can I start or should I start the next lecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is again a continuation of fluid statics in which actually we would deal with the fluid which is at rest. However, the some new topics which we will study in this lecture. Okay. What is this in the given figure? I mean, which it's written lock gate. Lock gate means just like say if we have a very small stream of water or channel, then we just if we just provide a gate in order to restrict the water or in order to obstruct the water flow. Okay, so now in this scenario it becomes the static fluid. It comes to rest. Okay, so this is the free body diagram. Say this is a gate and the total height of water is H here. The pressure distribution diagram is shown in this figure, which is say a triangular. Means if we move deep, then the pressure increases. P is equal to gamma H. Greater the height from the top, greater would be the pressure. Okay. So what are the important things which we should actually find out regarding this pressure distribution? जी कोई बता सकता है इस फिगर में क्या चीज सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है राइट फिगर में
Resultant force.
Very good. Resultant force is very important. I mean, what would be the resultant force acting on this gate? So because based on the resultant force, we can actually design this gate, that how much thrust it would bear actually. And there's another thing that two things are very important. I mean, which are basically the main theme of this lecture. The important, which it's very important to know, first is the resultant force, and the next is the location of this resultant force. This point, say this one, P. So Fr is the resultant force, and the point where this resultant force is applied is basically called as center of pressure. Okay, center of pressure means the centralmost or centroid point of this pressure prism. Basically, it's basically a pressure prism. If you look at into 3D diagram, say, so it is just like a prism. So we call it as pressure prism. In 3D, it is basically a three-dimensional figure. Okay. Basically, you can say that this is a pressure distribution in three-dimensional. Okay. Say the pressure distribution diagram is triangular in this scenario. Okay. Now, what is the central point of this triangle? और अगर मैं आपसे कहूं कि एक मेरे पास स्क्वायर है, तो इसका ज्योमेट्रिक सेंटर कौन सा होगा? जी बच्चे,
सर मिड पॉइंट ऑफ इट्स डायगोनल्स या फिर डायगोनल्स जहाँ बाइसेक्ट करते हैं कि एक दूसरे को.
So can we say that this is centroid? Can we say that the geometric center of any object is the centroid? आप बताएं भाई.
Yes sir.
Okay, so very good. The first part is resultant force. अब ये कैसे आएगी अभी हमें नहीं पता कैसे आएगी. Okay. Second is the location of this force. So location of this force is basically the centroid of, say, this triangle. अगर इस ट्राइंगल का सेंट्रॉइड निकालने तो क्या होगा? टॉप से होगा 2/3 ऑफ h एंड बॉटम से होगा 1/3 ऑफ h. ऐसे ही है. So if we can justify this pressure distribution diagram, then we can say that the resultant force will act at the centroid of pressure distribution. Centroid of body के नहीं, जबकि centroid of this pressure distribution. Okay. So no tangential force can exist within a fluid at rest. All the forces are normal to the surface. So this point we have already discussed in our previous lecture as well. As if the fluid is not moving, then there would be no tangential force acting on it. However, there would be only normal force which are acting on the which are acting perpendicular to the body surface. Okay. If pressure is uniformly distributed over an area, the force is equal to the pressure times the area, and the point of application of this force is centroid of the area. Force times the area. यही होता है pressure. The pressure is equal, the force equal to pressure times the area. Say we have sorry. A water tank. and the height of the, and this is, if we consider this particular point, the height is h. Okay, and if we consider this thing in 3-dimensional column, and this is the area, this area, and the height of this water column is h. So what would be the pressure? At this point P, कौन बताएगा? It is basically equal to force per unit area. And what is the force basically here? The force is actually the weight of water column exactly over this area A. Force क्या हो जाएगी? Weight of water column above this area A. Okay. And what is the weight here? Mg divided by area A. And we know that density is equal to mass per unit volume. And from this we can say that M is equal to density into volume. So we can write here density into volume times G divided by area A. And what is the volume here? Volume को मैं A into H लिख सकता हूँ?
जी सर.
ठीक है जी. Divided by area. So this area will cancel with this area, and our answer would be rho GH. Okay. So pressure actually depends on three things. One is it depends on one, density. Obviously, if you fill this column with mercury instead of water, then the pressure would be different against the same height. Second is depth. And third, gravitational constant. Okay. For Earth, if it's not changing, then it is same. However, the pressure changes with the gravitational constant as well. So to find force on submerged wall, the pressure increases as we move down. G bache, yes? Okay. And any question in this description? Any question?
No sir.
So if pressure is uniformly distributed over an area, the force is equal to pressure times the area, and the point of application of force is at the centroid of the area. Okay, centroid of the area means अगर से normal हमारे पास जिसका भी हमने बात की ये water column की, अगर pressure is uniformly distributed. अब इस केस में uniformly distribution है horizontal, तो इससे जो भी हमारी resultant force आएगी से FR, ये किधर अप्लाई होगी? इस पॉइंट पे, और ये पॉइंट क्या है? इस बॉडी का सेंट्रॉइड है। ठीक हो गया जी। फॉर सबमर्ज्ड हॉरिजॉन्टल एरियाज द प्रेशर इज यूनिफॉर्म just like this one. In case of gases, the pressure variation with vertical distance is very small due to low specific weight. Therefore, we can compute the static fluid force exerted by the gas. We usually treat P as constant. Thus, for such cases, अब गैस के केस में whether it be vertical or be horizontal, in case of gases, say if we have a wall, then the pressure distribution diagram is exactly rectangular. Okay, so here the P force F is equal to P times area. And we usually consider P as constant. In case of gas, okay, we cannot say that this P is constant in a fluid. But if we divide this pressure distribution into unit strip, having an area say A1, so then in order to find the total force, we can just take the integration. So P dA. So here P is constant for gases, so it will be moved outside this integration, and the total force would be F is equal to P times A in terms of pressure, in terms of gases, sorry. However, in case of liquids, the distribution of pressure is generally not uniform. You can see this distribution. गैसेस के केस में हमने क्या देखा कि अगर ये प्लेन है तो इसकी प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम भी एग्जैक्टली रेक्टेंगुलर है। Okay, however, in case of liquids, the distribution of pressure is generally not uniform, so for there should be some further analysis which needs to be done. Okay, यहां तक किसी को कोई समझ ना हो? ठीक है जी।
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us consider a vertical plane whose upper edge lies in the free surface of liquid. ये M point है. Let this plane be perpendicular to the plane of the figure. So MN is its edge. For example, हमारे पास कोई भी एक rectangular block है, ठीक है जी, ये इसका M point है, ये N point है। मैं इसको exactly vertical देख रहा हूँ, means कि perpendicular to the screen इसको मैंने place कर दिया, ठीक है जी। means अगर मैं इसको 3D में देखूं तो ये मेरा plane इस तरह है कुछ, ठीक हो गया। MN. Let this plane be perpendicular to the figure, so MN is its edge. Okay, so अब इसमें देखें, अब अगर if you look into this MN plane, अब MN plane का सेंट्रॉइड C है, प्लेन का C जो लिखा है MN plane का। प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम ट्रायंगुलर है, ऐसे ही है यार, या एग्जैक्टली रेक्टेंगल होगी प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। जी बच्चे, ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इसकी डायग्राम ट्रायंगल होगी या रेक्टेंगल होगी? कौन सी करेक्ट है? who will tell? क्या नहीं समझ आ रही है? चुप क्यों हो गए सारे? मेरी आवाज आ रही है? जी अब्दुल राफे अली। जी मिस्टर अम्मार अहमद।
यस सर।
मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको? तो
Yes,
आप
sir.
बोल
जी
क्यों नहीं
सर।
रहे? कोई बोल क्यों नहीं रहा है?
जी सर, आवाज आ रही है।
तो मेरे बच्चे कुछ रिस्पांस दो ना, मैं आप लोगों को पढ़ा रहा हूँ, अगर आपका रिस्पांस।
सर वो नेट कनेक्शन थोड़ा स्लो है, इसलिए इधर हॉस्टल में आया हूँ तो इसलिए।
Okay, so I was just asking, if we consider MN plane, C centroid of this MN is C here. So ये जो प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम बनाई हुई है इसकी ट्रायंगुलर, ये ठीक है कि गलत है? जी अम्मार।
सर लिक्विड में ट्रायंगुलर ही होगी।
ठीक है, लिक्विड में ट्रायंगुलर होगी। ओके,
जबकि गैसेस में रेक्टेंगुलर है।
ठीक हो गया। अगर मैं आपसे कहूं कि इफ जस्ट कंसिडर अ यूनिट स्ट्रिप, ठीक है, जिसमें प्रेशर इनसाइड से इसकी वैल्यू P1 होगी, नीचे वाले स्ट्रिप की P2 होगी, सिमिलरली P3, और से लास्ट की P4। हमने क्या किया? यूनिट स्ट्रिप कंसिडर की जिसमें स्ट्रिप में इटसेल्फ प्रेशर रिमेन सेम। ओके, लेयर्स में हमने डिवाइड कर लिया इसको। स्ट्रिप 2 में प्रेशर P2 होगा, बट पूरी स्ट्रिप में प्रेशर P2 ही रहेगा। सिमिलरली स्ट्रिप 3 में प्रेशर वुड बी P3 एंड P4। However, P4 is greater than P3 is greater than P2 greater than P1। ठीक लिखे मैंने?
यस सर।
ओके, अब आप मुझे बताएं कि अगर मैं इस सारी स्ट्रिप्स को कंसीडर करने के बाद इंटीग्रेशन लेता हूं तो मेरे पर रिजल्टेंट फोर्स आ जाएगी F?
आ जाएगी सर।
आ जाएगी, वेरी गुड। अब ये बताएं कि ये रिजल्टेंट फोर्स खुद सोच के कि इस ट्रायंगल के किस पॉइंट पे एक्ट करेगी?
सर सेंट्रॉइड पे।
सेंट्रॉइड ऑफ व्हाट? ये वाला सेंट्रॉइड?
सर वो जो ट्रायंगल की सेंट्रॉइड होगी।
वेरी गुड। एक प्लेन का सेंट्रॉइड है से C, और एक ट्रायंगल का सेंट्रॉइड है से P। ओके,
यस सर।
अब ये P पॉइंट C के बराबर होगा या C से नीचे होगा या C से ऊपर होगा आपके ख्याल में?
सर बराबर नहीं होगा।
P C
नीचे होगा, नीचे होगा,
नीचे होगा। वेरी गुड। मीन के C पॉइंट आपको ऊपर है, बॉडी का सेंट्रॉइड, और P पॉइंट उससे थोड़ा सा नीचे है।
यस सर।
ठीक हो गया? ओके, अगर मैं आपसे कहता हूं मैं इस प्लेन को नीचे ले जाता हूं मजीद, इस प्लेन को मैंने MN को शिफ्ट कर दिया M डैश और N डैश में, प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम कुछ इस तरह बन जाएगी। जी अमाल।
यस सर।
अब इस केस में C ऑब्वियसली ऊपर होगा, P उसके नीचे होगा, लेकिन इस केस में दोनों के दरमियान का जो डिस्टेंस है वो क्या ऊपर वाले C और P के दरमियान के डिस्टेंस के बराबर होगा या ज्यादा या कम होगा?
सर आई थिंक कम हो जाएगा।
वेरी गुड, कम हो जाएगा। मींस के एग्जैक्ट ट्रायंगल में C और P के दरमियान डिस्टेंस ज्यादा था, जबकि जैसे जैसे मैं नीचे जाऊंगा, अगर प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम मेरी ट्रायंगल से ये से ट्रेपेजॉइडल शेप में आ रही है, सॉरी पैरेललोग्राम शेप में आ रही है, तो C और P के दरमियान डिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है। और अगर एक वक्त आए मैं बहुत नीचे ले गया हूं और प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम एग्जैक्टली रेक्टेंगल बन जाए, उस केस में C और P का बिहेवियर कैसा होगा?
सर सी और बी एक ही जगह पे आ जाएंगे, इक्वल पॉइंट जो सेम हो जाएगा।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। C और P दोनों बराबर हो जाएंगे। थैंक यू अमार।
थैंक यू सर।
बाकी बच्चों को अगर ये कंसेप्ट समझ ना आया हो तो पूछ लें।
सर ये मुझे सेंटरॉइड और ये पॉइंट पी का नहीं समझ आ रहा कि ये दोनों डिफरेंट क्यों हैं, और ये पॉइंट पी है क्या सर?
ओके, बेसिकली C पॉइंट जो है वो बॉडी का सेंट्रॉइड है। ठीक है जी, स्क्वायर है, रेक्टेंगल है, जो भी है उसका C पॉइंट है, उसका प्रेशर से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है। ओके, इफ यू कंसिडर P पॉइंट, P is basically the centroid of pressure distribution. For example, अगर बॉडी मेरी रेक्टेंगल है या स्क्वायर है से, ठीक है, इसका पॉइंट C इधर है। अगर टोटल डेप्थ h है मेरी, तो C पॉइंट h/2 फ्रॉम टॉप एंड h/2 फ्रॉम बॉटम होगा। एग्री?
यस सर।
ओके, नाउ अगर मैं इसी प्लेन को पानी में इंसर्ट कर दूं, ठीक है, ये कुछ इस तरह इंसर्ट हो गया, और मैं फ्रंट से देखूं तो फ्रंट पे मेरा प्लेन ये है। ठीक है, प्रेशर, ऑब्वियसली प्रेशर ने इसको इसी तरह एक्ट करना है। जी, प्रेशर
यस
इसी
सर।
तरह 3D में PSE होगा कुछ। ठीक है जी, प्रेशर ही एक्ट कर रहा है। अब प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम, अब मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि P अगर आप बताएं इस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का तो क्या होगा? जी, P क्या है? सेंट्रॉइड ऑफ प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। अब एक ट्रायंगल, अगर इसी प्लेन को, अगर ये ट्रायंगुलर प्लेन है, ट्रायंगल का सेंट्रॉइड कहां पे होता है? इस जगह पे h/3 यहां से होगा और 2h/3 टॉप से होगा, यही है।
यस सर।
ओके, मींस अब ये देखो, इस केस में अगर रेक्टेंगल है तो h/2 है और इस केस में h/3 है। तो अगर इस फिगर के मुताबिक C would be higher than P। एग्री कर रहे हैं?
यस सर।
ठीक हो गया। अगर मैं आपसे कहूं फॉर एग्जांपल, ये प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्रायंगल, इट इज एग्जैक्टली रेक्टेंगल, तो उस केस में C और P क्या होगा?
सर बराबर ही होंगे दोनों।
C is equal to P, ठीक हो गया। और अगर इनके दरमियान की कोई चीज हो, मींस के रेक्टेंगल और ट्राइंगल, लेट्स पहले ट्राइंगल थी, अब ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ट्रांसफॉर्म हो रही है रेक्टेंगल में, 1 2 3। फॉर वन सिनेरियो C और P में इतना फासला है फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है। फॉर सेकंड सिनेरियो C और P में फासला कम हो गया। फॉर थर्ड सिनेरियो C और P में कोई फासला नहीं है, एक ही पॉइंट पे लाई कर रहे हैं। तो एग्री करेंगे मेरे से?
यस सर।
यही चीज अभी मैंने स्लाइड्स में एक्सप्लेन की है। से पहले अगर प्लेन आपका MN इज सिचुएटेड एट द टॉप ऑफ वाटर सरफेस, तो C इज हायर देन P, ठीक है। जस्ट लुक एट माय माउस कर्सर, एंड if I move this plane to a deeper depth, then you see that F is approaching point C, डिस्टेंस बहुत कम हो गया, क्योंकि डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चेक करें आप इसकी। अब यही चीज अगर मैं रेक्टेंगल बना दूं तो C and P will coincide. So in the case of liquid, the distribution of pressure is generally not uniform. So further, let us consider a vertical plane whose upper edge lies in the free surface of a liquid. Let this plane be perpendicular to the plane of the figure, so that MN is edge. MN is basically an edge of any rectangular body. The gauge pressure will vary from 0 at M and Nk at N. 0 at M and Nk at point N. The total force on one side of the plane is the summation of the products of elementary areas and the pressure upon them. जो मैंने यहाँ पे अभी आपको कहा था कि आप यूनिट स्टेप्स में डिवाइड करें और फिर उसका इंटीग्रेशन ले लें, ये वही चीज यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेन्ड है। The total force on one side of the plane is the sum of the products of elementary areas and the pressure upon them. Okay, say this is A1 and P1 plus A2 and P2, etc. So you get the total force. So pressure distribution, we can see that the resultant of this system of parallel forces must act at a point below the centroid of the area or body. ठीक है जी? Since the centroid of the area is the point where the resultant of system of uniform parallel forces would act. Okay. Now if we lower this plane to position M dash, N dash, the change of pressure from M to N dash is less than it was from N to N. Change of pressure, okay? Here the change of pressure is low. Here the change of pressure is high, means 0 to maximum. Here it's not 0, it has some value, so the difference is less here. Hence the resultant pressure force will act near to the centroid of plane surface. Okay, so this is C. The deep up conclusion क्या हो गया भाई? This is the, you can say the deeper we submerge the plane, the smaller the pressure variation becomes, and closer the resultant moves to the centroid. Means P would approach C. Any question? किसी को ना समझ आया हो? क्लियर है?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
रिस्पॉन्स बड़ा लेट देते हो। ओके, पहला केस हो गया फोर्स ऑन अ प्लेन एरिया। ओके, एक से प्लेन में चीज लाई कर रही है, बट देयर आर चांसेस दैट you may interact with some plane area which is in a sloping position, just like अगर कोई टैंक है, से वाटर टैंक, कुछ इस तरह भी तो हो सकता है। ठीक है जी, कि फोर्सेस इधर पहले तो इधर लग रही हैं, अभी हमने ये केस डिस्कस कर लिया। अब कोई केस ऐसा हो सकता है जिसमें फोर्सेस परपेंडिकुलर ऐड करें एट सम एंगल, ठीक है। सो अब हमने ये केस डिस्कस करना है। कंसेप्ट वही है, प्रेशर प्रिज्म क्या है, प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन C क्या है, P क्या है। अब ये चीज आई बिलीव कि आपको पता होनी चाहिए, अगर नहीं पता तो पहले पूछ लें C क्या और P क्या है, क्योंकि दोबारा से फिर मैं उसमें बताना मुश्किल हो जाएगा। Any confusion in C and P? Any confusion between C and P?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Who will explain what is the difference between C and P? Any volunteer? Who will explain what is the difference between C and P?
Sir, C is the centroid of body or any geometric shape that is induced,
Okay.
and P is centroid of pressure distribution diagram.
Okay, so P is pressure distribution. Okay, so remember these 2 points, it's very important. So in the figure, let MN be the edge of plane area making an angle theta with the horizontal. To the right, we see the projection of this area onto a vertical plane. Okay, say we have an MN body of any arbitrary shape. It's not exactly rectangle, but obviously C would be somewhere here. Okay, and after that, when it is immersed in any water body, there would be a difference between C and P. Means P is lower than C, as the distribution is making a shape of parallelogram. It's not exactly triangular, so but still it's not exactly rectangle, so we cannot say that it's not rectangle, so we cannot say that C and P are at same position. There must be some difference, and P must be lower than C in this scenario. Okay, so from front, if you see the pressure distribution, it makes MNKJ. MNKJ. Okay, and if we multiply with the width, which is this one, okay, MNKJ, what se suniega, times the width, it makes, you can say, the pressure in 3-dimensional. Okay, so it is basically 3-dimensional pressure, which we call pressure prism. Okay, इस फिगर को दोबारा गौर से देखिएगा। कोई भी assume point O है जिसके गेट से मोमेंट ले सकते हैं। MN is the plane, जब उसको प्रोजेक्शन में देखेंगे बैक साइड से तो ये चीज है। अगर आप फ्रंट से देख रहे हैं उसको तो ये पॉइंट आपका M है और ये पॉइंट N है। ठीक है, ड्राइंग आप सबने को पढ़ी है, प्रोजेक्शंस का आपको आइडिया होना चाहिए। ओके, सो M is this point and N is this point. Similarly, C की प्रोजेक्शन अगर आप देखें तो C इधर लाई कर रहा है, P इधर लाई कर रहा है। X is the width of any unit strip. अगर आप देखें Y is the distance. Say YC is the distance of centroid sloping distance from this point O. Similarly, YP is the distance of center of pressure from this point O. And if you convert this Y with some angle, the exact vertical distance would be H. Okay, just like Y sloping distance है, H आपका वर्टिकल डिस्टेंस है, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज y एंड दिस इज h, और यहाँ पे ये थीटा है, तो आप ऑब्वियसली यू कैन रिलेट y एंड h. Any question in this figure or any confusion? The pressure distribution over the sloping area forms a pressure prism means mn kj times width. Okay, जो मैंने यहाँ पे आपको बताया था mn kj times width, यानी कि इसकी अगर प्रेशर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डायग्राम में बनाऊं प्रेशर प्रिज्म, तो वो कैसे बनेगी? फ्रंट से तो ये ऐसे दिखेगी, ऑब्वियसली बैक पे भी कोई इसकी विड्थ होगी, तो ये इसकी, if this is the width, then this mn kj times the perpendicular width, it gives you a 3D pressure, pressure in 3 dimensions of volume of pressure, you can say, which we called as pressure prism, just like this one. Okay, whose volume is equal to total force F acting on the area. Okay, if width x is constant, just like in this scenario, you can see this x is constant, we can easily compute the volume of pressure prism using mean pressure, which is mn plus nk. Here mj and nk. You just, अब ये मिनिमम प्रेशर इसका इधर है, मैक्सिमम इधर है, आपने मीन निकालना, दोनों का ऐड करें, 2 पे डिवाइड कर दें, तो आपके पास एक मीन वैल्यू आ जाएगी से सेंट्रल प्रेशर की. और ऑब्वियसली अगर तो विड्थ x कांस्टेंट है, मींस कि mn की विड्थ भी कांस्टेंट है पीछे से, और nk की जो बैक एंड पे विड्थ आ रही है वो भी कांस्टेंट है. इन दैट सिनेरियो वी कैन सिंपली फाइंड the volume of pressure prism using mean pressure. Okay, however, if x varies, just like in this case, you can see that the back width of m से इस जगह पे x बहुत कम है, जैसे हम नीचे जा रहे हैं, probably इस पॉइंट पे we have maximum x. Okay, so if x varies, so हम क्या कर सकते हैं, we can divide this into small strips, just like in this figure I explained. If x varies, we must integrate to find f. We just divide into number of small strips, and against each strip pressure would be same. Let h be the variable depth to any point and let y be the corresponding distance from ox. h and y मैंने आपको already explain कर दिया. The intersection of plane containing the area and free surface. So this is the explanation of this OX basically. Okay. Any question up till now? कोई क्वेश्चन किसी का?
नो सर, बस यही होनी है.
Okay, so I said that if we take a unit strip having area,
कौन है?
बच्चे अपना माइक ऑफ कर.
यही है मेरे साथ तो डेट्स वाला लाइवा सर. किधर गई है यार? जाना किधर है? किसको करना है? एक मिनट.
मोहम्मद हुसी चलते हुए मैं बाहर लेक्चर है ना. Anyways, so for this unit strip we have area dA is x times dy. So this is dy and obviously x जो है वो back end पे इसका distance हो. So for this particular unit strip, pressure is same for this whole strip. So we can write pressure as gamma H, or so dF is basically P dA. So this pressure is uniform over one strip. However, it will be different among different strips. So dF would become, from equation say 1 and 2, dF gamma H dA. And we know that
नहीं हो
H
तो देगी ना फिर उम्मीद जाएंगे तो सामान हाँ इसमें ये रिक्शा करेंगे तो सामान देंगे लड़का भी आ रहा है यार उसका एडमिशन का मतलब बना हुआ है सिस्टर का वो फॉर्म फिल भी करवाना है
बेटे मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ, आप बताएं. 12:45 तक आइए. Okay, so we can write H in terms of y. So if we take the integration of this, so it becomes F is equal to gamma sine theta y dA. Do you know what is this y dA integration? It is basically the static moment of area or first moment of area. First moment of area, so we can simply write F is equal to gamma sine theta y CA, which is the centroidal distance, or F is equal to gamma HCA. So this is the formula 3.16 with reference to lecture slides. So this is the formula which is used to find out the resultant force. Okay, resultant force gamma HCA. So we can simply find the resultant force and it depends upon the body centroid. Okay, so हमारे पास कोई भी body है, सिर्फ फोर्स फाइंड करने के लिए हमें डिस्टेंस HC चाहिए, मींस द डिस्टेंस परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस ऑफ इट्स सेंट्रॉइड, बॉडी के सेंट्रॉइड से. अब ये जहां पे ऑब्वियसली जहां पे ये प्रेशर लग रहा है वो पॉइंट अभी हमें नहीं पता, अभी हमने सिर्फ फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड फाइंड किया. ओके, सो दिस इज जस्ट टू फाइंड आउट द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ फोर्स. Okay, so where it is applied, so next step is हमने वो find करना है कि ये अब force किस जगह पे act करेगी. So first part is जैसे कि हमने lecture में discuss किया था initially, so the first is important to know the resultant force. Okay, next is the location of this force. यहाँ तक हमने जी अभी कर लिया है. So thus we find the total force on any plane area submerged in a liquid by multiplying the specific weight of the liquid by the part of area and the depth of its centroid. Depth of its centroid, here it is of body. The value of f is independent of angle of inclination of the plane so long as the depth of its centroid is unchanged. Okay, and you can see clearly here that if say the body is placed like this or this or this, until and unless HC is not changing, the force will remain the same. Okay. Since gamma HC is the pressure at the centroid, we can also say that the total force on any plane area submerged in a liquid is a product of area and pressure at its centroid. So this is, I'm again telling that this is just for finding the magnitude of force. Okay, the pressure at its centroid is of body. Next is the center of pressure. The point of application of the resultant pressure force on a submerged area is called the center of pressure. ये जो हमने अभी बात की थी कि pressure distribution diagram, अब ये क्या, ये pressure distribution diagram का centroid है. से अगर triangular है तो 2/3 from top and 1/3 from the bottom. So the point of application of resultant pressure force on a submerged area is called the center of pressure. We need to know its location whenever we wish to work with the moment of this force. So the most general way of looking at the problem of forces on a submerged plane area through the use of recently discussed pressure prism concept. वही चीज हम दोबारा देखेंगे. The line of action of resultant pressure force must pass through the centroid of pressure prism. ठीक है जी, ये यहाँ पे लिखा है it's a volume basically. ये वही चीज डिस्कस हो रही है. The line of action of resultant pressure force must pass through the centroid of pressure prism. As noted earlier, this concept is very convenient to apply for simple areas such as rectangles. For example, if the submerged area in the figure 315, अगर हम इसको देखें तो it's very simple कि आप however, in case of if constant width, we know that the centroid of the pressure prism is 2/3 of mn from below m. Okay. However, if we have an arbitrary shape figure, then we must know, or we must find out the formula which we can use in order to find out the location of this center of pressure. Okay. So we would I will continue the same derivation. इसके बाद से मैं continue करूंगा. ठीक है जी. Previously हमने देखा था dF is equal to gamma y sin of theta dA. ठीक है. अगर मैं इसको y से मल्टीप्लाई कर दूं दोनों तरफ, means y dF is equal to gamma y square sin theta dA. Or I can say that if yp, it actually denotes distance to center of pressure. So I can replace simple y with yp. Ypf is equal to gamma sin theta y square dA. Just in the previous figure, we said that if y dA is the first moment of area, similarly, if we have y square dA, this one, it is basically the second moment of area or we can also write it as moment of inertia. So gamma sine theta I naught. Okay, so y square d is basically the I naught, which is the second moment of area or moment of inertia. So our formula actually becomes yp is equal to gamma sine theta I naught divided by f. So from equation 3.15 we can actually write the formula of f from equation 3.15. So it becomes yp is equal to gamma sine theta I naught over gamma sine theta YCA. Okay, so gamma sine theta will be cancelled. So yp is equal to I naught over YCA. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, so formula for yp is I naught over YCA. Okay, so however, it is at the moment it's difficult to find out the I naught. Say if you have very irregular surface body, then we cannot find the centroid. Say if we have a rectangle, then we have the formula BH cubed by 12. We can find out the centroid of this body. However, this centroid is for rectangle from the if we take centroidal point as its axis. Okay. So अब हम क्या करेंगे? We will transform this I naught to IC basically by using parallel axis theorem, which states that moment of inertia, अगर मैं इसको ड्रॉ करता हूं, ये हमारे पास से I naught वाली axis है IX, and if we have any body having its point centroid point C here, and we draw another axis for centroidal point, and if we consider this point, the distance from here is y dash and here is x dash, and the distance of this centroidal point is dx till here and dy from here, and this is d. Okay, so we can write Ix as Ix dash plus a dy square and Iy as Iy dash plus a dx square. Or if the according to parallel axis theorem, moment of inertia of an area about an axis. अब एरिया इसमें कौन सा है? मोमेंट ऑफ, गौर से सुनिएगा, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ एन एरिया, एरिया ये वाला है, ठीक है जी, ऑफ एन एक्सिस, एक्सिस हमारे पास एक्स वाई है, ये वाले, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ एन एरिया अबाउट एन एक्सिस आई एक्स एंड आई वाई इज इक्वल टू मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ एन एरिया अबाउट अ पैरेलल एक्सिस. अब ये एक पैरेलल एक्सिस है, ठीक है, ये एक्स डैश है और ये y डैश है. Moment of inertia of an area about an axis is equal to moment of inertia of an area about a parallel axis passing through the centroid, this one, plus the product of area A and square of the perpendicular distance between the axes. Okay, I repeat, moment of a parallel axis theorem क्या कहता है जी? Moment of inertia of an area about an axis is equal to moment of inertia of an area about a parallel axis passing through the centroid plus the product of area and square of perpendicular distance between the axes. Okay, so in this way we can write it as, जो previous मेरी derivation थी उसको हम I naught is equal to IC plus AYC square. Now it's easy to find out the moment of inertia about centroid for different bodies. Okay, so that's why we have converted this I naught into IC. Now you just replace this IC I naught with this formula in our previous formula of yp, and if we just solve it, हमने क्या करना है, इस I naught की जगह हमने पुट कर देना है IC plus AYC square. Okay, parallel axis theorem, and after simplification we get this formula, yp is equal to yc plus IC over yca. Okay, and yp is the point at which resultant of force is acting. So we have related this yp in terms of yc and IC yca. Okay, so we will solve only one example and we will finish this lecture for today. Or should we solve it next week? क्या time होगा? I think 12:36. Time is less, so inshallah we will continue from these numericals in the next class. Okay. Any question regarding today's lecture? Any question?